Good morning, students. So let us start once again the poem which we were doing in the last video. We were doing the Pulli, and in the last video we already completed the explanation of the poem, the Pulli. Okay, and today especially we were going to see the figure of speeches which are used in this poem. Okay, because many figure of speeches are used in this poem. The poet George Herbert used many figure of speeches in this poem, so that we are going to see one by one, which is given in your workshop also. Some figure of speeches are given in your workshop also, that we were going to see one by one. Okay, before going to the figure of speech, let us discuss about the rhyming scheme of the poem. Now, if you will see, 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas are given. In each stanzas, 5 lines are given, right? And what will be the rhyming scheme here? Man, can, buy, lie, span. Okay, so A, B, and can, span. A, B, A. In this way we can use this will be the rhyming scheme of the poem. A, B, A. Okay, yes. See, on page number 73, last question is given in second activity. The rhyming scheme of the poem is, so the answer will be A, B, A. If you will see, once again you just go through all the stanzas and you yourself find out the rhyming scheme, so that you will understand also, and you will have a practice of using or making the rhyming schemes. Okay, now let us talk about the figure of speeches. Now, in this poem, the poet George Herbert used many figure of speeches, as I said. For example, he used metaphor, then he used inversion, he used antithesis, he used alliteration, he used climax, then he used pun, right? Along with that, he used synedoche also, synedoche, which we call, that also he used. So lot of figure of speeches are there. 1 or 2 figure of speeches which are very important, or we should discuss, that I am going to discuss now. In that, first one is antithesis. Otherwise, metaphor, you by this time now you are you know metaphor very well, means easily you can find out the example of metaphor, so you find it out. I am telling at least 3 figure of speeches today I am going to discuss. I am not going to discuss metaphor and alliteration today. Okay, one which I am going to discuss with you is antithesis. Now, what is antithesis? We all know antithesis means when an idea, words are put opposite to each other. Okay, in a same line, when this opposite words, opposite ideas, or opposite phrases, we can say, when put together, then that is called as antithesis. Example, now see, very rarely we get the example of antithesis. Here we have antithesis. Was, second, third, fourth. Come to first stanza, 4th line. What is the example of antithesis? Which half from which we have to take? 4th line. Which dispersed lie contract into a span. Now, what the poet is saying here, he is using 2 opposite ideas, we can say. One, he says dispersed lie, phaila hua. Another, he says contract into a span. So dispersed and contract, both are opposite to each other, and that is why this is figure of speech which is named as antithesis. Right, last year already we studied about this antithesis. Yes or no? So this is the example of antithesis. And what you have to do, you have to find out, is there any other example of antithesis? So go through the poem line by line and find out any other example is there. One more important figure of speech which is given here is climax. Now, okay, can you guess which is the which line is the example of climax? Because climax is very easy. I am giving you 10 seconds to you. Okay, find it fast. Two seconds are left. I hope many of you got this line, and come to second stanza, second line. Then beauty flowed, then wisdom, honor, pleasure. What is this? This is the example of climax. Understood? The ideas are arranged in ascending order. Climax, what is climax? When the ideas are arranged in a ascending order, that is called as climax. And opposite to climax is anticlimax. What is anticlimax? When the ideas are arranged in a descending order, opposite to climax, then it is anticlimax. But here we have a climax. Okay. Next, now one important another figure of speech which is used here by George Herbert is pun. Now what is pun? I hope in last poem also we already studied pun. Last year many times we studied pun. Today again there is another example of pun. Basically they ask in exam pun, then inversion. These are the examples generally asked in the exams. What is pun? Pun is a play of words. What is pun? Pun is a play of words, or play upon words, we can say. What does it mean? It means that in a pun the poet used such words which has two meanings, two separate meanings. पन में होता क्या है? Poet used two separate use such word which gives two separate meanings. For example, if you will see second stanza, fourth line, rest in the bottom lay. Okay, now rest is that word. Okay, I'm giving 3, 4, 5 seconds to you. Tell me, rest in the bottom lay is the example of pun. Now how it is pun, you have to think about it. I'm giving you 5 seconds. Okay, 1, over 5 seconds over. Okay, rest in the bottom lay. Now see, this rest has two meanings. One rest means we take rest, satisfaction. Here in this poem, rest, here satisfaction. Another rest in the bottom lay, the thing, rest of the thing, which we call rest of the thing, bacha hua. So in a glass, whatever the rest things were, the residues, leftover things, that is also called as rest. Means the poem is using in that sense. Another rest is the satisfaction. Okay, and that is why this is the example of pun. Okay, now another very good very important example, very important example of figure of speech which is used in the poem is inversion. Now what is of inversion? In inversion, the order of the sentence has changed. What poets generally do, they change the order of the words. And what we need to do in inversion, I remember last time also I told you, while dealing with the inversion, it is inversion is more difficult than other figure of speeches. Why? In other figure of speeches only we have to identify the figure of speech and explain it. But in inversion, what we need to do, we need to identify it, explain it, and we have to arrange the order of the word also. And many times while arranging the order, we become wrong. So here he used some of the examples of inversion. For example, first stanza, 1, 2, 3, third line. Let us, said he, pour on him all we can. Now actually this line should be written, he said he, in spite of said he, what he should do? He said. So it should be like this, let us, he said. So what he did, he changed the order of the words, and that is why this is the example of inversion. Okay, 2, 3 examples of inversion are given here. So what you have to do, you have to find out the remaining examples. 1, 2, 3 examples, 3 more examples of inversion are given here. Okay. Yes, another example of inversion is the rest in the bottom lay. Again we can say that is a good example. The rest in the bottom lay, the order has jumbled. change. It should be the rest lay in the bottom. The rest lay in the bottom. It should be like that. Okay, and that is why that is example of inversion. Another example which is given here is Synecdoche. Okay, another example, another important figure of speech which is used in this poem is Synecdoche. Now, which is the example of Synecdoche? May toss him to my breast. Okay, yet weariness may toss him to my breast. Now, again, what happened? Part is used for the whole. What is Synecdoche? We know. Last year already we discussed Synecdoche also. Synecdoche is part is used for the whole and whole is used for the part. If you remember the example, I told you to remember all this figure of speech. What is the trick? You have to remember the same examples. Okay. In that we saw in Synecdoche what example we took. The example of India won the match. India did not win the match. The cricket team of India won the match against China now, Pakistan, China. Okay, so in that way, part is used for the whole, and that is why this is an example of Synecdoche. I hope you understood that. Remaining whatever workshop is given, so go through it and complete it as early as possible. Okay. And tomorrow then we will start Let's March, a very big lesson. It will take a lot of time because it will be a lesson of 8-9 pages somewhat. Okay, so let us stop here. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care.